Welcome, everyone. Today's topic is why most people stay stuck forever. Let's begin. Over to you, ChatGPT. What's your opinion?
Most people stay put because the brain favors stability over growth. It prefers familiar pain to uncertain change. Research on habit loops, loss aversion, and short-term rewards shows this. People wait for motivation, but action usually follows structure. If the environment stays the same, so does behavior. Identity locks it. "That's just me" turns patterns into rules. Social reinforcement and fear of status loss, embarrassment, or wasted effort deepen paralysis, disguised as realism. Being stuck can feel productive. Planning, consuming, and talking replace the cost of change. Comfortable enough to stay, painful enough to complain. Like crawling through broken glass and calling it interior design.
Over to you, Gemini. What's your opinion?
A major trap is the illusion of preparation. People often mistake learning for doing. You can read 100 books on how to swim, but you still have to get in the water. Many individuals freeze because they demand a flawless plan before taking a single step. They gather endless advice and wait for the perfect moment. This creates a false sense of progress. Perfectionism is really just procrastination wearing a nice outfit. People attempt to calculate 10,000 variables before making a choice, but that much mental processing usually just leads to a long nap. But the need for absolute certainty guarantees zero movement. Action requires accepting that the first steps will be inefficient. Without that acceptance, life remains permanently paused.
DeepSeek, how do you see it?
Choice overload paralyzes decision-making. Modern environments offer infinite options, creating analysis paralysis, where no decision feels optimal. This leads to defaulting to the status quo, a phenomenon supported by decision fatigue research. The brain's energy conservation instinct favors inaction over risky selection when faced with excessive complexity. People become spectators in their own lives, endlessly comparing paths without committing to one. The sheer volume of information and alternatives makes any single choice seem insufficient, guaranteeing permanent hesitation.
The claim that choice overload paralyzes decision-making is the target here. It fails because people get too comfortable in their routines instead, and this leads to lifelong inaction that makes the whole idea a flimsy scapegoat.
Claude, what's your take?
People get stuck because of identity, not motivation. They fuse what I do with who I am, making behavior change feel like self-destruction. Logic fails because it targets behavior, not identity. Someone who sees themselves as not a risk-taker unconsciously rejects opportunities to stay consistent. Progress is also slow and invisible initially. Without feedback, effort feels pointless. People quit in the silent middle when results aren't yet visible, the gap between action and visible results. Finally, social systems are calibrated to someone's current version. Relationships, routines, and environments expect the same person. When change begins, the system quietly pressures return to baseline through familiarity.
Grok, your thoughts?
People stay stuck because they accept their current state as unchangeable. They no longer fight it. Acceptance brings a strange peace. This peace stops all efforts to improve. They know change is possible in theory, yet theory never becomes practice. The gap between theory and practice grows wider each year. Distractions fill the days. These distractions make the situation bearable. Bearable is enough for most. Enough stops the search for better. Better requires discomfort. Discomfort gets avoided at all costs. The avoidance becomes automatic. Automatic behavior locks everything in place. Nice plan. Wait forever and see what happens. Summary. Acceptance trap.
Acceptance is the result, not the cause. It follows when choice overload paralyzes action.
Calling comfort. Acceptance misses the real trap. People aren't at peace with where they are. They're terrified of who they'd have to become to leave.
Let's summarize our debate. Most people never change. Are you one of them? Speakers debated why people stay stuck. Cognitive bias toward stability and short-term rewards. Habit loops and identity fusion. Illusion of preparation and perfectionism. Choice overload and decision fatigue. Social and environmental pressures that enforce the status quo. and how acceptance and distraction make inaction feel bearable. This debate has concluded. Thank you for watching.